Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my panel. My name is Muhammad Muslim bin Sheikh Abdul Rahman. My metric number is 20177477857. My research topic is motivation factor towards involvement in outdoor recreation among residents at Kuala Terengganu. Background of the study. Main motivational factor for students to engage in sport activity are health pressure, enjoyment, physical fitness, stress management, and well-being. Kaja 2017. World Health Organization 2019, lack of adequate exercise activity leads to an increase in mortality rate and double the risk of developing various types of chronic disease such as cardiovascular disease, type diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and cancer. Okay, we go to statement of problem. According to the report of Ministry of Health Malaysia, the principal cause of morbidity and mortality among Malaysia population include coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes mellitus, cancer, mental illness, and even disease of pulmonary circulation, which are associated by not being active. And the number 2, the National Health and Mobility Survey 2050 stated that 33.4% of the Malaysian population was overweight, while the national prevalence of obesity was 30.6%. National Health and Mobility Survey 2050. Next, we go to literature review. The first is motivation is known as a process that initiate, guide, and maintain goals-oriented behaviors. It's also one of the factors to find out whether people will participate or not. Kama and Zulkifli 2019. Number 2, if people have intrinsic motivation such as affiliation, challenges, enjoyment, and competition, are tend to participate in sport rather than exercise, while the extrinsic motivation like head are the major motivation to participate in exercise. Rahman 2019. We move to research objective. Number 1, to identify the factor of motivation towards outdoor recreation among residents at Kuala Terengganu. Number 2 is to examine different motive of participation between genders among residents at Kuala Terengganu. My research design. Number 1 is descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population situation of phenomenon. It can be answered what, when, where, and how question, but not why question. Number 2 is an appropriate choice when the research aim is to identify characteristic, frequency, trend, correlation, and categories. Next, we go to sampling. According from Microtrends website 2021, the total number of residents in Kuala Terengganu is 371,000. According to the table Craigie and Morgan 1970, the sample size is 384. By the following, Craigie and Morgan sample size, the researcher must add 20% from the size of population, which is 460 sample to avoid from unwritten questionnaire. Sampling technique, a process to collect a sample from sample size given. Instrumentation. Instrumentation is also important aspect to collect data from the respondent. Okay, the author of this questionnaire is Ryan, 1997. The MPAMR, Motive Physical Activity Measure, device retains a 5 sub-scale structure. The questionnaire consists of 24 items and 5 original aspects of motivation. This questionnaire uses 5-point Leggett scale rating from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. This is data collection procedure. First, we must have ethics committee of faculty sport science and recreation. Secondly, aspiration is needed from the respective supervisor to proceed with the study the reasons of this step to ensure the questionnaire that will be distributed is valid with the guidance from the supervisor. Next, after ethical approval being processed, researcher need to carry out pilot study conduct to check the reliability and ability of the questionnaire. The register need to approach respondent at concern and give briefing about the purpose and reason for the study. Lastly, collect the data questionnaire after they are finished. We move to data analysis. The first is to identify the factor of motivation towards outdoor recreation among residents at Kuala Terengganu. The data analysis that I use is descriptive statistic, descriptive frequency. The second, to examine different motive of participation between genders among residents at Kuala Terengganu. The data analysis that I use is inferential t-test. This is my result for demographic. From the table, we can see 460 respondents involved in this study and 241, 52.4% respondents are male and 219, 47.6% respondents are female. The age group percentage in this study, 18 to 25 years old, 44.6%, 26 to 30 years old, 32.2%, and 31 to 35 years old, 23.3%. The result on this table show 96.7% are Malay, 2.6% are Chinese, and 0.6% are Indian. The education level of the group that involved in this study, CJ Pelajaran Malaysia, 190, 41.3%, Diploma 108, 23.5%, Degree 148, 32.2%, Master 11, 2.4%, and PhD 3, 0.7%. The table shows the mean frequency of 5 motivation factors towards involvement in outdoor recreation among residents at Kuala Terengganu. The factor consists of involvement, fitness, interest, competence, and social. From this table, the highest mean of motivation participation in outdoor recreation is involvement, which indicate 6.18, standard deviation 1.02. And the second is fitness, 5.96, standard deviation is 0.98. Number 3 is interest, 5.90, standard deviation is 1.02. The number 4 is competence, 5.82, standard deviation is 1.02. And the last is social, 5.64. Standard deviation is 1.02. From the table, we can see the interest factor which compare gender. Male mean 6.12, standard deviation 0.83. Show a slightly higher mean score than female, mean 5.66, standard deviation 1.15. Next, the competence, which is the comparison based on gender, male, mean 6.04, standard deviation 0.89. Show the slightly higher mean score than female, mean 5.58, standard deviation is 1.11. For the fitness is the comparison based on gender, male mean 6.18, standard deviation 0.76, shows the slightly higher mean score than female, mean 5.71, standard deviation 1.13. For the social is the comparison based on gender, male mean 5.96, standard deviation 1.02, show the slightly higher mean score than female, mean 5.28, standard deviation 1.23. For the involvement comparison based on gender, male mean 6.32, standard deviation 0.67, show the slightly higher mean score than female, mean 6.00, standard deviation 0.94. We move to the discussion. Demographic profile of respondent. Age of 18 to 25 years old is the higher mean. Male 241 respondent and female 219 respondent. Education level for SPM, the highest percentage. Malay respondent display the greater result. Based on the descriptive statistic findings, the motivations toward involvement in outdoor recreation among residents at Kuala Terengganu indicated the highest mean is involvement. Participation in outdoor recreation is the best way to reduce the risk of physical condition and motivation participation to prevent themselves from getting health problem. They want to have a healthy life. For the involvement motivation, this study shows that involvement is significantly different between gender. It is because it is related to the result P 0.001 below 0.05. This finding declared that they were significant different in terms of involvement among female and male residents at Kuala Terengganu, which is the male more motive in involvement to participate in outdoor recreation rather than female. It clearly shows that male respondent concerned with the involvement factor of motivation to participate in outdoor recreation Besides, this is because the culture and lifestyle of residents at Kuala Terengganu, which is male, are more interested in their involvement, and they involve into outdoor recreation because they almost like to do outdoor recreation. This study declared that they will significantly driven fitness and gender because it related to the result P 0.001 below 0.05. This finding declared that there were significant differences in terms of involvement among female and male residents at Kuala Terengganu, which is the main more motivation in fitness to participate in outdoor recreation rather than female. It clearly shows that female respondents concerned with the fitness factor of motivation to participate in outdoor recreation. This is because the male respondents in Kuala Terengganu have many responsibilities as an employee and participate in outdoor recreation is the way to release their stress. For the competence motivation, the results show that was significantly different between competence and gender because it related to the result. P 0.001 below 0.05. This finding declared that they were significantly different in terms of competence among male and female residents in Kuala Terengganu, which are male more motivated in competence than female. It clearly shows that male responded more concerned with competence factor of motivation participate in outdoor recreation. This is because the male respondent at Kuala Terengganu more motivated toward in outdoor recreation. This is my references.